Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network. Become enlightened, have fun, and tell all your friends and family to share with everyone they know. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble while following us on Facebook, or find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts can be found on Libsyn, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. Most of all, remember to go to our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for past episodes, future shows, and scheduling. We also want to welcome our international audience. Don't stop now. Enjoy the community. Subscribe or follow today.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Good day, everybody. Welcome wherever you are on the spaceship we call Earth, the Conscious Radio Network's weekly series, The Seance. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Paul Meckes. If this is your first time, please click like, subscribe, comment. And also don't forget to follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Today, Chakras Unveiled, the hidden path to body wisdom. With a wealth of experience as a self-employed businesswoman and consultant, Dr. Mary is deeply committed to guiding individuals on their journey of personal transformation. She focuses on helping people cultivate thriving health, happiness, and purpose through the powerful tools of energy medicine. Now, this is a long bio, so we're going to keep it short because we are restricted on time, but that's more of a reason to have you back on the show.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Paul, for having me on the show.
You're very welcome, and welcome to the show, Dr. Mary Sanders. So this is intriguing because a lot of people don't think the two shall mix. You know, chakras and energy medicine and the general medical practice or chiropractic. How does the your experience in chiropractic and medical intuitive, how does this integrate and with neuroscience working with the chakra system?
Oh, I think that's a lovely question and a beautiful place to start from today. And as a chiropractor practicing for the last 30 years, obviously having my hands on physical bodies has allowed me the ability to develop my psychometry. And psychometry is another way of receiving intuitive information that emanates from another physical body or a person or a place or a thing or an object, and receive information into our hands. So I've been doing this for many years, possibly not even realizing what I was doing it at the time. And energy medicine is the medicine of the future. It is how we will be accessing true and transformational healing. We'll be looking at the chemical body. We'll be looking at the physical structure. We'll be looking at the emotional body and the energetic body. It has been proven with science that all of us have an electromagnetic current that runs within us and surrounds us and connects us into something that is outside of us, something that is magnificent and beautiful. But that same current also affects the trillions of the cells that make up and are the composition of our physical body.
Yeah, the chakra system is nothing new. People think, oh, this is something new, new age. No. Not at all. Where can people find you before we get a little further in there? Where can they reach out to you?
Oh, yes. My website is a breathing, living organism in its own. You can find me at www.drmarysanders.com. I'm also very active as I have my own podcast called Energy Medicine. I do all of the snippets and all of the announcements of the guest speakers on Instagram as well. And that would be dr.marysanders on Instagram.
Cool. And we'll also have those in the show notes. What's intriguing, too, is people can go to your website and they can download a free gift. Explain that.
Oh, yes, yes. I appreciate you bringing that up, Paul. I appreciate that. One of the things that I find myself as I hold sacred space for patients, whether it be in person or virtually, is that there are three common things that I find that we get to do before we can really clear in sense and see what is clearly happening for the individual. And number one, I have the ultimate meditation guide for unleashing your authentic self. And there are three meditations. One of them is focused on grounding. The other one is neutral separation, so you can clear your energetic field of any energy of unwanted places or people, which no longer serves you in present time. The third meditation that we have is about bringing your awareness energetically more in alignment with present time. So it decreases those people who are stuck in forward thinking and that have anxious thoughts, and those people that are leaning backwards and are more fixated on the past or perhaps experiencing depressive tendencies. So I love those three meditations. We package them in together. They're free of charge for anybody that wishes to download them.
Wow. Wow. And that second one is really important. I see that a lot. And things that don't serve us anymore, but we're stuck with them. It's like a download bad software. It's like, get rid of it.
Yes, and I totally agree. And Paul, one thing that I see is that there's like low hanging fruit.
Mm.
And so we can kind of shake, the energetic field, tonify it, and a lot of debris returns back down to Mother Earth so that the energy can be recycled and uploaded for another person. So I love doing the neutral separation so that we can then begin to reclaim what our authentic essence wants to emanate.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, how important is it and the benefits of meditation for mental health?
I think it's huge. I think that we walk around in today's society stuck within the prefrontal cortex, meaning the frontal area just below or just behind the forehead. We are there orchestrating, organizing, executing, planning everything in our lives all day long. And we get stuck in this prefrontal cortex. And with meditation, we are able to sink back further within the cranium into a beautiful space known as the hypothalamus. And that space will allow us to shift our awareness away from the analytical and to begin to receive information intuitively. So it allows us to receive information from a meditative, expanded state to receive information above and beyond the traditional five senses.
For those who are not familiar with the chakra system, now most who are going to be watching or listening to the show wouldn't be listening to it if they didn't already know something about it. But there's always the laymen out there that are kind of like, give me more, give me more. Can you describe the chakra system? I do. I mean, but can you describe the chakra system and how this is set up?
Sure. Again, as Paul so respectfully said, the chakra system is not new. It comes from the Vedic sciences in ancient India. We know that the body has an energetic and electromagnetic current, and chakras are nothing more than just essentially vortices or wheels. And so within the physical body, we have 7 major chakras. Now, please know and trust that there are many more minor chakras that are located within the physical body. We know that we have nadi channels, we have meridian systems. So for me to just blanket say we only have 7 is not true. But for the sake of our conversation, I'll be talking about the 7 larger ones that are most intimately related to the physical body. And so when you get about 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches away from your physical body, the face of the chakra is about 3 inches in diameter. And so these energy centers have a spin. They have a frequency that they emanate. They have an endocrine gland that they are associated with. And those of you that are not familiar with an endocrine gland, they're essentially the glands within our body that are responsible for producing hormones. And not only does a chakra have a theme in an endocrine gland, it also has a set of nerves or a highway of nerves, a plexus of nerves that take the information from the chakra system into the organ, and then it transfers it into the central nervous system, and that information then gets triggered up into the brain for a release of chemicals or neuropeptides within the brain. So we know that there is a neurological association. We know that there is an emotional association. We know that is a chemical association. All of this is intimately related to the chakra system as it connects into the physical body. And as I was talking about, Paul, earlier, in that each chakra has its theme. So we can go through life and have possibly adverse reactions or adverse childhood experiences, little t traumas or big T traumas that store information within our physical tissue and also within the chakra system as well. And so some of the themes, and this is just a brief, please understand, listeners, this is just a brief overview of the themes. But the first chakra that is located deep within the pelvic bowl is most intimately connected with safety, survival, trust. The second chakra, just located underneath the belly button, is connecting you into your deepest desires, creation. The third chakra, located underneath the ribs above the belly button, is associated with control, sovereignty, autonomy. The fourth chakra is intimately connected in the chest, associated with the heart. And in this space, we think of themes that are revolving around compassion, self-love, love for others, forgiveness. And then within the throat, we have our fifth chakra, which is most intimately connected with our authentic expression. Then located within our forehead is the sixth chakra, intimately connected into clear seeing or clairvoyance. And last but not least, on the top of the head, we have our seventh chakra, connecting us into all that exists outside of ourselves. And so each of those individual chakras has a corresponding endocrine gland. So we can be talking about our adrenal system all the way on up into our pituitary and pineal system. So the chakra system electromagnetically alters the chemistry and the hormonal production within those endocrine glands and stimulates the chemistry in the central nervous system all the way up to the brain.
Yeah. What are some of the common disorders out there that you've encountered people having, and just going in and realignment and working with these chakras, and then they walk away like, wow, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, I see a lot. I'm going to bring up two specific examples. Number one, I see a lot of first chakra issues where someone experiences the inability to truly ground and to be focused 100% in present time. And typically these individuals have an adrenal system that is overactive. These are sympathetically dominant people, fight or flight people that are always on the go. Yeah. And they have a hard time trusting and allowing and sinking into the first chakra. And so once we can first clear and then charge that energy center, the patient typically walks away with increased vitality. Not like that buzz, that caffeine buzz that you get, but that really slow rhythmic pulse that is like truly sustainable. That vitality that comes from within, that true resonance of health.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I see a lot of, and that's why I really recommend the grounding meditation within that series that I was talking about. And then the second thing I see a lot of is I see people with issues with thyroid dysfunction, whether they have an underactive or an overactive thyroid. And these individuals often have issues with authentically expressing themselves, meaning that they typically feel misunderstood, or they experience challenges in our using and finding and articulating the words to where their message is clearly received. And so they still find their voice gravitating to wanting to be that people pleaser, saying the things that they think the other person wants them to say to make the other person feel better, opposed to really having ownership of that voice to authentically communicate their wants and their needs.
It seems to be a growing art, a craft. It's becoming more popular. Do you see the work that you're doing becoming more readily recognized within the medical field?
I hope so. I hope so. And so, Paul, that's my mission. My mission as a practitioner, and this is the whole reason that I started the podcast, Energy Medicine. I want to hold space for the hardcore science that has been proven and bridge that gap into the soft sciences that have yet to be proven. There are many different modalities that I have used over the last 30 years that I know without a doubt within the trillions of my cells are effective and beneficial for patients, and the patients receive the benefits, but yet the science may not be there to help support that modality. So energy medicine is on the rise. If we look at the trend of medicine as it is transitioning from allopathic and then more into a functional and then into an integrative approach to health and well-being, truly integrative medicine will incorporate the spiritual and the energetic component. Oftentimes, physicians do not have enough time to spend with their patients. And so that portion of their medicine gets avoided, unfortunately. And so that void, hopefully we will be seeing, within my professional career, that we'll be seeing more and more people practicing energy medicine.
I sure hope so. I sure
Yeah.
hope so. I see the we're at the precipice of it being recognized. So
And yet it's been with us for many, many, many
yeah.
years, right?
Like it's a rediscovery, but yeah,
Or a re-knowing.
yes,
Knowing
yes.
that's always been with us and that we have the power from within.
Yeah. How important do you think a diet is when it comes to the chakras?
I think that that's a legitimate question. And I think that having a lifestyle that's balanced within your proteins and your macros and your carbohydrates and your fats and all of those things, I think is essential for the building block of proteins. And proteins are what the brain thrives on. So I think that diet and lifestyle is huge in maintaining health and well-being, especially when it comes to approaching the body from a mind, body, spirit perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, food should be the pharmacy.
True.
And depending on what you're eating too. I mean, if it's fresh, if it's straight from the garden, it's still living. It's living, energy. And by consuming that energy, you now much more healthy. So.
I agree. Once again, getting back to the roots.
Yeah. What can people expect when they go to your website?
Yes. On the website, you'll see a list of my services. You will find services that help support you one-to-one, whether that be in person or remote. So I learned energy medicine from the Academy of Intuition Medicine in Sausalito, California, and I was living internationally at that time. So I knew that I had to tap into the awareness of being able to support people remotely. So that's one service. You will also find on the website that I have a monthly group somatic intelligence healing. So I am guiding groups of people into the awareness of what the body is trying to communicate to us. So you'll find one-on-one, you'll find group services, and you will find information that keeps you up to date as to various different events that I'm participating in, and information about the Energy Medicine podcast as well.
That's awesome. Before we wrap up the show, how can people find you again? Where they can find you?
Yes, you can always find me on my website, which is www.drmarysanders.com, or on Instagram, which is dr.marysanders. And again, either place is fine. You can reach out for me one-to-one, and it is common. It is normal for people to have questions about energy medicine or intuition medicine. So on my website, you'll find that there is a discovery call in which you can, for free of charge, you will have access to my calendar, and you can put yourself on my calendar and we can get together and talk one-to-one for me to be of service to you, for me to give you honest feedback if I can be of service to your highest good. Talk about the current issues that you're dealing with and whether or not I believe that energy medicine or intuition medicine can be of service.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for those who have a New Year's resolution for 25, definitely seek Dr. Mary's professional expertise. Absolutely. So what would you like to offer as a takeaway for our guests?
As the takeaway, please, I invite all of you to go to the website, download the ultimate free guide to meditation for unleashing your authentic self. Those 3 guides, I intentionally designed those meditations to be approximately 10 or 12 minutes each so that they are easy to listen to. They can be listened to repetitively in order to get the system into the body via the meditation. So I find all 3 of those meditations to be very powerful.
Mary, blessings, my friend. Blessings.
Blessings to you, Paul.
Thank you. And keep me posted. Do you have anything else coming up? You have a book coming out by any chance?
Well, it's funny you should say that. I just attended a writers' conference 2 weeks ago through Hay House, and I know that there is a book in me, and it is coming.
Cool. Keep us posted. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely. You were very welcome. Very welcome. Thank you again. Thank you again, everybody, for watching The Seance on Conscious Radio Network, and we will see you next time.